In 4 words, phenomenal. What a dynamic day. We've been here today and we learned so much about the space between the left and the right brain, emotion and action, and the old and new paradigm. And now as we prepare to end this conversation, I want to talk about you. Yes, you. Each and every one of you and your individual mission and how it is directly connected to us keeping our mission in motion as women. But before we begin our dialogue, I have a question. How many of you have ever considered the space between a rock and a hard place? But before you answer, I want you to think about the many challenges, situations that have caused you to be between a rock and a hard place. Now, as women, we know them all too well, unfortunately, because we deal with them on a daily basis, right? There's the work issues, there's the health issues, the money issues, and the car issues. And we all know the infamous relationship issues, but that's another TEDx, all right? But it's because of these issues that I'm inviting each and every one of you today to personally use the space between as a vehicle to accomplish your individual mission. You see, as women, we have and we will continue to find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. Now, I'm not certain what part of the joke that is. I'm not certain if it is connected to our lot in life or if we're still paying for Eve making Adam eat the apple. But who's keeping track? Definitely not me. What I am, however, is focusing on this conversation and how we are not going to focus on the rock or the hard place for that matter. No, we're here today to talk about how we as women leverage the space between a rock and a hard place, because it is my belief that the space between exists for our benefit. It is meant to be used as a tool to inspire, fuel, motivate, and empower us to move forward. So with that, I'm going to share with you 3 ways in which the space between can help you accomplish your individual mission. 1, compassion. So I thought it would be great for us to have a working definition of compassion. So I went to the dictionary. Yes, D, I went to the dictionary, not dictionary.com, not the internet, not a smartphone, the dictionary, the big book with a hard front and back cover. Yes. And compassion is having an understanding for someone who is or may be suffering. Now, all of us have suffered at least once in our lifetime, correct? Right. See, how do we use that? We've all suffered, but guess what, ladies? Let's be honest and transparent about this conversation. There's many times when we've not been interested in standing between the rock and the hard place for one another. Why is that, you ask, Tamara? Well, I think I have one possible answer. It's because when we were suffering, when we were going through our trials and tribulations, there was no one to stand in the space between for us or with us for that matter. And as a matter of fact, there was no one around to show us any compassion. But all things are relative and nothing is coincidental. There was a reason you had to stand in the space alone. You're better for it. You're stronger. You're more prepared. You have a positive outlook on life and you are understanding. You understand so much so that you now recognize how important it is for you to stand in the space between to keep our mission in motion as women. Your healthy attitude is contagious. You're now concerned with how to give what you did not get. Mentorship. Show your compassion by being a mentor. All right. There is someone who can benefit from your guidance, your experience, and your tutelage. You know her all too well. You see her every day. Sometimes you don't even speak to her. She's new on the job. She frequents the community center in which you volunteer. She may even attend the same house of worship you do. She needs you. She wants you to take her under your wing. She needs you to show her compassion. So when she is standing in the space between, you are there to tell her that better days are to come because you've been there, done that. Because when you make someone's life better, your life becomes better. Compassion. 2, clarity. Now, I want you to think about a time when either you or someone close to you, your mother, your sister, your BFF, your aunt, was passed over for a promotion. Yes, we're going there. I want you to think about how you felt, the anxiety that surrounded you at that particular time. I want you to think about what you wanted to do in the moment. I want you to think about what you said. All right. Now, if I was a betting woman, I'd say that some of your comments, maybe all of your comments were not positive. But we're not going to talk about that either today. But it still does not change the fact Lisa got the promotion. Now, we all know Lisa's mode of operandi. She comes into work late every day. She does what she wants to do when she wants to do it. She leaves early to get her hair and her nails done. And when she is in the office, the only thing she seems to be talking about is American Idol and Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj. Okay? But is it still possible? Just maybe. Was Lisa more qualified for the position? Did she have more experience? Did she have more education? Was she more creative and innovative? Was Lisa the type of person who was always getting her work done before she got to work? Was she the one who was behind the scenes, ahead of the game, burning the midnight oil? You see, when we have the opportunity to lie within the space between, it affords us a unique opportunity to see things with clarity. And when you are clear in your individual mission, you know where it is that you're going. You see, the space between exists for us to be the very best people, the very best mothers, the very best educators, entrepreneurs that we can be. When you are clear on your individual mission, you know instantaneously that promotion was Lisa's in the first place. Therefore, you can celebrate Lisa and her success because Lisa's success is your success. And you know Lisa couldn't have got that promotion without you. You see, we have to realize in order for us to keep our mission in motion as women, we have to come together and support and embrace one another unconditionally. Now, hear me and hear me well. I am not saying we're going to be the best of friends. You're not coming over for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I'm not saying that you have to like every one of her Facebook posts. What I am saying is we need to be collaborative, collegial, and cooperative with one another. Because again, we need one another to keep our mission in motion. See, when you are in pocket on purpose with your clarity of your individual mission, guess what? You know that we can all get there. We may not all get there at the same time. It may not be via the same method, but we can all get there because you're clear, because what's for you was for you, and what's for Lisa is for Lisa, and it provides you with the strength and the courage to celebrate each and every woman that's around you. Clarity. Last but certainly not least, one of my favorites, confidence. Yes. I want you to think about an opportunity in a time when you've changed an outfit. You changed what you were going to wear. You changed who you were based on your friends, based on where you were going and who you were going with, because it was more important for you to fit in, Gina. I want you to think about being in college. Remember, Friday night was hot night, okay? You call your girlfriend up and you say, hey, what you wearing at that party tonight? And she says instantaneously, my black dress, of course. And you said, dang, I was so interested in wearing my tight jeans because I thought I looked good, right? And in that particular instance, you realize that all of the things that you were doing were based on, again, someone else. Think about being in a meeting. Think about being at a retreat when the VP stopped by, the director stopped by, and you censored yourself. You censored your material because you were fearful that they were not going to appreciate your true comments. Remember that? But when you are confident in who you are as an individual, when you are confident in your individual mission, there's no struggle. There's no tug of war. You are free to be you. You are free to be you, and the best gift that you can ever give to yourself is to be yourself, because guess what? There are no other positions available. All right? That was a good one. I like that one. Note to self. Okay. So, confidence. When you're confident, it changes your perspective. The lens that you're looking at looks very different. Your landscape is bright. Can't you see it? It's plush. You see, as women, we all too often get bent out of shape because people don't get it. Newsflash, not everybody's going to get it. Got it? Right. Okay? So again, when you are confident, it gives you the strength and the power to pursue your dreams no matter what, even if there's no one in the seats and the lights are off. Confidence. Because we all know that it is required, and doggone it, it's also sexy too, right? Think about it. Confidence. When you are confident, the people around you become confident because you take them along on the ride. They begin to dream big. They begin to dream in color because when you are confident, you know that it is important to begin with the end in mind. So now that I've told you what I was going to tell you, I'm going to tell you what I told you. The space between the rock and the hard place exists for our benefit. It is a tool that we should be using each and every day. It is there for us to use as a fuel to inspire, to motivate, and empower us to complete our individual mission. And it's also there for us to help one another as women. And we can do that via 3 ways. First and foremost, we have to be compassionate with the way that we handle one another, with the way that we speak to one another or speak about one another. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because when you make someone else's life better, your life becomes better. You have to be crystal clear on what your individual mission is. You're here for a reason. You are. And if you're not clear on that, there's no way that you could ever celebrate anybody else because you're caught up in thinking that was your promotion when it wasn't. Confidence. You have to be confident where it is that you're going. You have to know that you know that you know. And then sometimes you might not even be able to explain it, but you are confident in the way that you move about. So in closing, remember about 12 minutes ago, I said that I want to talk about you, each and every one of you and your individual mission and how it is connected to us keeping our mission in motion as women. Well, my sister friends, it is time to make a decision. What are you willing to risk? What are you willing to sacrifice to complete your individual mission? Think about all the women that have come before us. Eleanor Roosevelt, Harriet Tubman, to name a few. It is because of them that we can have this conversation, sharing ideas worth spreading. It is because of them that we stand on their shoulders and we're able to do some of the things that we're able to do. Be entrepreneurs, be educators. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to risk to complete your individual mission? You see, we're all connected to one another because you can't be successful without Sari. Sari can't be successful without Diana. Diana can't be successful without Jonte. Jonte cannot be successful without Darcy. We're all connected to one another. So how do we, again, support one another in that? Because there has to be something that we need to do so that way we can complete our individual mission. All right. Listen, ladies, there is a lot to do. And this is not the time to be uncertain at all under any circumstances. What are you willing to risk and what are you willing to sacrifice to complete your individual mission? Ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to complete? Because the time is not now, it's right now. Right now. Thank you.